going to talk about a pen by Laban. It was sent to me by Laban, for which a kind thank you. The pen we're talking about is the Corinth Black. This is the pen, alright? Laban, founded 1981, Taiwan. Company that's been around for a while. I have met the people from Laban in Nuremberg. It was a lot of fun. And today I will talk about this pen. So, I've talked a little bit about the company. As I said, been around for a while, 1981. So they have a history making pens. They make all sorts of pens. I typically find them to be pretty affordable. I've owned a couple. I found them to be pleasant writers. This is definitely a pleasant writer. And here we have the Corinth. Alright, what's the point with Corinth? I assume this is a reference to the columns used in Roman architecture, right? There was the Ionic, Doric, and then the Corinthian capitals, which are the sort of like the little. You have a God, is it an art history lesson now? You have a column that holds up, you know, the facade of a building, and then you have a little sort of a little thing that actually holds up the facade on the column, and that has a specific shape. It's either just shaped like this, and then you call it Ionic, I think, and you call it Doric when it has little curls, and you can also have sort of leaves in it, and that's Corinthian. So, was all of this useful? Not really, but this is a column shape, right? Because those columns are also fluted, so they had little cutouts, right? Little wavy cutouts. Look it up. Look it up. This has those cutouts too, right? It kind of looks fluted, like a Roman column. So, there you have it. Interesting pen. It has a slightly, I would say, steampunk feeling to it because of the metal cage that surrounds the pen. Clear body, which is kind of nice, clear cap, I like that. You have a black coated nib, which I also appreciate. Of course, I'm going to show you all the parts up close in a minute. There are rhodium and rose gold quote-unquote cages available too. I kind of like this black. I think it looks cool. So I think the pen definitely has some neat stuff going for it. Let's look at the pen in a bit more detail. Let's do a writing sample, and let me tell you what I like about it and what I don't like about it. Alright, let's have a look at this pen, but first a quick look at the box, because I haven't shown you that yet. Cardboard outer sleeve. I like the Laban logo, very classic, very elegant. Inside the cardboard sleeve is the actual box. Laban 1981. In it, a warranty card, credit card format. I always enjoy those, easy to store. You have the little tassel that is attached to the pen when you get it with the Laban logo on it. There is the little, I guess, not so much warranty booklet because you have that card, but filling instructions and 3 years of warranty on these pens. I love the little cartridge loop. It's just nice. And in there is currently nothing but silica gel, but cute and soft bed, and again that Laban logo. I think this is a very nice, functional, simple box that does everything you can expect from a fountain pen box, and for me nothing else is required. The pen, the Laban Corinth. Let's start at the top of the pen. I'll try to make that catch the light. You know what? I'm just going to uncap it. Hold it a little lower down. So here you have the Laban logo in black relief. I think that looks really cool. We have, of course, that metal cage, right? Right here. This is the one, you see that? That slight, that's what I was talking about earlier, that the video order, I'm still getting used to. So I will mention this, but these metal things can bend a tiny bit, but they also correct themselves a bit. But this one stayed a very little bit bent. So they have that. Okay, cap, we have the nice clip. On top of the clip right there is the Laban L from the logo. You have this very nice simple clip, which I really enjoy. That's really quite stiff, but that works well. And because those ball mechanisms typically work well in allowing this to slip into a breast pocket or something. Okay, I liked this taper down from the cap. That looks nice. And then you have the barrel inside the converter, and here at the end there is nothing, just metal. But cap unscrews and the pen posts very comfortably because of that metal thing that sticks out. Makes for a very nice size of pen, but quite top heavy because of all the metal. Sorry. So what else have we got? We have the section, classic hourglass shape, wide, narrows down, widens a bit again. And then we have the black coated nib, which has Laban and 1981 on it, number 6 nib, and a plastic feed. Very pleasant nib to use. Barrel unscrews, cartridge converter, very simple, but works very well. And of course you can put in a cartridge too. There you have it. Nice weight to the pen because of all the metal, which I appreciate. Now the real question is, how does it write? So let's have a look at that. The Laban Corinth. My arm is right in between two tripod legs, so you'll have to forgive me the writing. Steel medium nib, and the ink is probably my number 1 red, Mont Blanc Corn Poppy Red. Bugger me, mate, that's a really nice colour. Yes, not wait a minute, it is indeed a very nice colour, and I'm sure you would appreciate that. Okay, writing with this pen is just a joy. I really have to say, the nib is very smooth, very pleasant to use, and I really enjoy writing with this. Very, very comfortable. Also the pen to hold is comfortable. As you can see, it's not a huge pen or anything, but it's very comfortable to hold. Let's do some fast writing. And this is just the way it is. The feed is not primed, nothing going on. It just writes nice and wetly. That's actually me not connecting this bit, and here was, I think, one skip. That may have been me, but I would say in general that's a really good performance. I find this just in general to be a very nicely tuned nib, nice and wet without being an excessive gusher, just very comfortable. The Laban nibs are on the hard side. As you can see, there really isn't that much that much line variation in writing. Always very, very careful when you do this, but there isn't that much. It is a stiff nib. Okay, for those of you who enjoy that, reverse writing is a possibility. Nib is not particularly scratchy. You see it gets a little drier, but I'm sure you can squeeze out a couple of words, and I would say you go from a very nice, good medium to a fine, maybe an extra fine. So, there you have it. A kind thank you again to Laban for sending me the pen. This was the end of the writing sample. Let's see what I like about the pen and what I not like about the pen. Okay, what do I like about this? What do I not like about this? Well, I think this pen definitely has some cool stuff going for it. The Roman column design, I think, is nice. I think that works well. I like the clip. I like the way they've designed this overall. I also like this matte black finish. To me, it looks very good. Also, the fact that you can actually see the converter inside. You have a giant ink window, so to speak. So I think that's all very nice. I like the size of the pen. It's not huge, but it's comfortable, and because of the metal, it actually has some weight to it. And it pulls very comfortably. So I mean, there's definitely a lot going in design, I think. One thing that is of course crucial for any pen is how it writes, and I will say this pen does write very, very pleasantly. In my experience, a lot of black coated nibs can be a bit less smooth, just sometimes because they coat the tipping. I don't know if that was the case in this pen. In any case, whatever coating was on the tipping is now gone, and it's an incredibly smooth nib, a really pleasant writer. Another thing that's fun is I've had this inked up for quite a while, didn't use it for quite a while, and when I say a while I mean a couple of weeks. I uncapped it and it wrote straight away. So all of that is, I think, very, very good. And I like that as I said, that slightly steampunky look with the metal cage. It just, there's something to it that makes it a very nice looking pen, I think. Things I don't like so much. I only have two major points. I should rephrase that. I only have 2 points. How major those are is kind of up to you to decide. One is the metal strips that this cage is made of are a little prone to warping under specific circumstances. When the pen arrived, it was the heart of winter in Canada. It was very cold, definitely very sub-zero in Celsius terms, and a number of these strips, instead of being straight, had actually bent out like this, so they were definitely curved. Interesting thing is that as the pen has been inside for a considerable amount of time, and that actually took a considerable amount of time, I'm talking multiple days, the metal reset itself and it just kind of pulled back in, and it is straight now. There's only one part of the cap where it's just curved a tiny bit, but it's negligible. If you don't know it's there, you don't even see it. But the strips are loose, they're not connected to the barrel, so there is some opportunity for them to move. As I said, it corrected itself, but I thought I would just point that out. The question is, how often do you use a pen for an extended period in sub-zero conditions? But of course, that's a personal thing. As I said, it has reset itself. I have not seen what happens to this pen under conditions of extreme heat, but I would be very interested to see if anyone has this in some sort of desert circumstance, or whatever, Arizona, Texas, something where it's very, very warm, and then see what happens to the metal there. The other thing I wanted to say was, this is by no means a cheap pen, right? You're buying a pen that has a steel nib, that has a cartridge converter, and that costs $350. It's not cheap. And yes, it's nice. I think it's a nice pen, it's a nice model, there's a good eye for detail. It writes really, really pleasantly. That is something that I really have to commend this pen on. It's a wonderful, lovely writer with that nib, but it's not cheap. Right, $350. If you look at something like the Laban Mento, which I have here, which is, I know I'm wearing a dark shirt, so I'll try to do it like this. It's actually a pretty substantial pen. It's bigger than the Corinth is, and this is $140. So that's actually less than 50%, right, of what this costs. So pricey, a pricey pen, and I don't really see the reason for the high price. As far as I know, it's not a limited edition. It's not numbered. It doesn't have anything of that, of that to it. So it's pricey. What I will say is, and what I can say is, it writes really comfortably. But whether that is worth it for you, that's a whole different matter. That's just what I find. Okay, I hope this was useful. A very kind thank you once again to Laban for sending me the pen. I do really appreciate it. I'll gladly see you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.